Yo, what is up guys? It is Nick or the Notorious Fancy back in today with another fantasy football video. Today's video is wide receivers to avoid in your 2019 fantasy football draft. But before I start the video, I'd like to ask you guys, could please go down below and click that subscribe button because it would help you guys dominate the draft with all these videos. And then once you've dominated the draft, you stay tuned, you keep staying tuned for the regular season because it's going to help you guys with matchups, trade decisions, waiver wires, streams, all of that. And then during the postseason, the playoffs, you're going to be listening still because you made the playoffs, obviously, because you're watching all the videos. And I'm going to help you with all that, the trade. Oh, no more trades anymore, but all the waiver wires, all the matchups, all of that. And then you're going to kiss your fantasy football championship. Mwah, mwah, mwah. You know, you won. You're the best. And if your league already doesn't have a fantasy football championship trophy, go ahead and get one. I got one on fantasybros.com. If you go down below, it's down in the description. Use code Notorious at checkout. You get 5% off. It would help me a lot, and it's going to help you because the trophies are awesome. All the stuff down on their website is awesome. I've got a bunch of stuff from them. So let's begin the video. The first wide receiver that I'm going to avoid this year is Amari Cooper. His ADP is the 307, which means his average position is in the third round, the seventh pick in 12 team PPR leagues. So, one of the biggest things against him is the fact that he's just so inconsistent. He'll score you 30 points, he'll score you 40 points, and then the next week, he looks like he wasn't even fucking playing because he scores you 4, 5, 6 points, and it's so confusing. He's such a boom or bust guy, and you're drafting him in the third round, which is super high for a guy that is going to disappoint you a lot of the times, but will finish among top 12, top 15 wide receivers because he has so many boom games. But you are going to have a bunch of games where you're just straight up disappointed. Now, he has this plantar fascia foot issue injury thing that is a heel injury. I'm not much of a doctor, but I Googled it. That's what it is. And right now, the Cowboys are without Zeke, and the offense runs through Zeke. You guys may not know that, but when Zeke is out, the team doesn't look as good. With Zeke, they will be a team that could make the playoffs, a team that could really be great in the NFC East. But right now, without Zeke, I am very scared of this team. And this injury risk is also kind of scaring me because it could go into the season, him having this heel problem. And the fact that he's just so inconsistent alone without the injury should just tell you not to draft him in the third round. A guy that's going to just disappoint you a lot of the time. So, the second guy that I'm going to be talking about is AJ Green. His ADP is the 503, so the fifth round, third pick in 12 team PPR leagues. He will likely miss multiple games with that ankle injury that he suffered just a few weeks ago. He had surgery on it. So they said 5 to 8 weeks from around then, which was 2, 3 weeks ago. So he will likely miss maybe 2, 3 games of this season, which is pretty bad for a guy you're drafting in the fifth round. I'm not even comfortable drafting him until about the 10th round due to all this injury risk. He has a long list of prior injuries. He's constantly dealing with that turf toe injury in the past couple of years. Now he played all 16 games 2 years ago, but before that it was 10. Last year it was 9, and I think it's going to look similar to that this year, around 8 games. And I just don't think you should be drafting someone who's probably going to play 8, 9, 10 games in the fifth round. That's kind of just crazy when you already know. It's not like it's someone who doesn't have much of an injury history in the prior injury history, and you just draft him and then he gets hurt. You know, that's everyone gets injured. But a guy that has such injury history, I don't know why you would even draft him at the 503. So the next guy I'm avoiding is Will Fuller, wide receiver for the Houston Texans. His ADP is the 705. So he also has a super high injury risk, according to sportsinjurypredictor.com. He's been hurt 3 years in a row. He tore his ACL. He's hurt the hamstrings. His hamstring. He's hurt his knees, and he just straight up can't finish a season. So that scares me. What also scares me is the emergence of Kiki Kuti. Mainly, this isn't as much of a scare, but it's also a slight scare because Kiki Kuti seemed to be playing great last year. And if Will Fuller goes out 3, 4 games, you better believe Kiki Cootie's going to make a huge impact on the team, and then maybe Will Fuller will fall out to be the wide receiver 3 on the team if he comes back. But he's just always so injured that I just don't like taking him in the 7th round. Now, if you're confident drafting some guy that you know is going to start for probably just 6 weeks in a row and then get hurt and be a top 10 or top 24 wide receiver, then go ahead and do it. But you're not going to have him all season. It's so unlikely that he will play all season that it's crazy. You just have to avoid him. He is the highest injury risk out of anyone, I'm pretty sure, at the wide receiver position. So don't do that. A lot of these guys on this list, if you've noticed, is because of injury. That's why they're on this list. So this guy, the fourth guy, Corey Davis, he has nothing to do with his injury. So 907 is his average draft position. In 2018, he had 112 targets and only got 65 catches with 4 touchdowns. You might say, oh, his 11.5 fantasy points per game. Oh, that's pretty good, you know? But you were drafting him even higher last year. He was likely going in like the eighth, the seventh round. And in 2017, the year before, he had the same problem. He can't. I don't know what it is. If it's the fact that he has no hands or the fact that the quarterback is so bad, I don't know what it is because he got 65 targets his rookie year and only came down with 34 catches with no touchdowns. The Titans are a certified dumpster fire, in my opinion. Like, they're not terrible, but like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. We don't know if Derrick Henry, how much impact Derrick Henry is going to have. We don't know who the quarterback is. Stuff's coming out that it could be Tannehill coming in a couple weeks in the season. Maybe Tannehill to start off the season. And who knows what his rapport is with Tannehill. He has a terrible rapport with Mariota. It's just, I just don't like Corey Davis. He's just going to disappoint you. You're going to draft him, and it is, you might say, oh, that 11.5 points per game is pretty good. Yeah, but a lot of those high point games, he's going to score you like 22 points one game and then just disappear. Just like Amari Cooper, he is just not that good, and you need to just avoid him here at all costs. I would avoid him at all costs. Like, I've seen him in like the 11th round, and I would just not pick him. I can't stand Corey Davis in fantasy football. Like, he is just not that good. So, the final guy, I believe, yep, the final guy is Golden Tate, New York Giants wide receiver at the 1103 average draft position. He has that 4-game suspension because of PEDs. People are saying it's some other things. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But he likely isn't even going to be the wide receiver one on the Giants. Sterling Shepard will be. He will be the wide receiver 2. Evan Ingram's arguably the wide receiver 1 on that fucking team because there's injuries to Sterling Shepard as well. The quarterback position is shaky. Now, a lot of people are like so hyped. Daniel Jones played great preseason week 2, played great preseason week 1. Yeah, how is he going to play against a real NFL defense? Not that well, in my opinion. I just think that they're going to go with Eli, and I think honestly Daniel Jones is better than Eli, and they're just going to stick with Eli, and it's just going to be a terrible time over there on the Giants. You really only want Saquon and Evan Ingram on that team. The receivers around him that aren't on his team but are just going around him at the 11th round, the 12th round, the 10th round, all near there where Golden Tate will go. Like Tyrell Williams, all of the Bills wide receivers go later. Kiki Kuti, they all have such higher upside than Golden Tate, and they're all not suspended for 4 games. So you're going to actually have a full slate unless an injury happens, full 16 games. So that is all for the wide receivers that I do not want to draft in 2019. If you guys agreed with any of those takes, let me know. If you hate some of these takes, you say, I love AJ Green, I love injuries. Or you're like, I love Will Fuller, I also enjoy injuries. I enjoy people who get hurt when they're tying up their cleats to go and run out onto the field. So thank you guys all for watching. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if you could subscribe if you haven't already, it would really mean a lot to me. And you're also getting a lot of content, triple uploads every single day. I'm out here on the grind. So thank you guys all for watching. I love all of you, and have a great rest of your goddamn day. Goodbye, guys.